Hello, chess fans. Welcome back to another fun video. This video marks the in full swing of classical chess this summer, beginning with the Grand Chess Tour, and there's also the Meltwater Champions Tour, and a lot of great stuff going on this summer. Lots of great chess. Originally, I wanted to do a video on the women's Armageddon, and then when I looked at the games, I saw, oh, they're all Blitz games. It's not really the best content for me. I don't really want to watch people, I don't really want to cover people playing Blitz because I don't think it's that instructive, even though they definitely do play better than I will ever play, even in Blitz. I just, like, for example, Jagneezy lost because of her horrible time management. It wasn't really her lack of understanding of the game that lost her, but rather the time. She lost some time twice. So it's like, okay, I'm just gonna follow the 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 Grand Chess Tour, which begins in Romania with the Superbet Chess Classic. Um, So basically, they take 9 participants, like so, and then they invite one more player to the event. So it's usually the top player in that country. So for Romania, it's Richard Rapport, but Richard Rapport has already been selected. So they invited Bogdan Deac, one of the top players in Romania. Yeah. So format is round robin, 90 minutes for the first 40 moves, plus 30-second increment on move, starting from move 1. After the 40 moves, followed by 30 minutes for the rest of the game. And these are the prizes. You get tour points. The chess tour consists of many events, and you get points based on how well you place. And if you win the Grand Chess Tour, basically you have a spot in the Candidates Tournament, which is very prestigious. And here's the money: 100 grand for first place in the tournament. And if you win, if you win the entire tour, you get an extra 100 grand. So it's a big payday for some of these people. So let's get into the game for today. We're going to go into round 1. Wesley So versus Ali Reza, Firouzja, and let's go back to move 1 and review from here. I'm just showing you this. This is at a pretty low depth, but this is an insane accuracy that you just have to have at this level. It's just, oh my gosh, it's crazy how accurate you have to be to win a game of chess these days at the top level. And so we start with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and bishop c4, the Italian game, the classic. Now, someone actually told me on Twitter that the Italian was not a top tier opening because it wasn't seen in the World Chess Championship. I hate to break it to you, but that is an ignorant way of thinking, and you should be ashamed of yourself. It's such a bad way of thinking. Don't dismiss openings because masters don't play them as often. We see here Italian game being played by Firouzja, still a top tier opening. To quote Levon Aronian from sometime last year or the year before, he doesn't understand the Italian game, and he's been playing it most of his life. And I think he said the same thing about the Roy Lopez as well. Bishop c5, d3, d6, c3. This is the classic Italian structure to get a strong center. From there, Black is going to try to prove that White's strong center is vulnerable. basically the point of this move is to not get tempoed by d4. Castle, h6, preventing knight, bishop g5, and having to block with your knight. Kind of uncomfortable. You want the knight on f6 here. f6, bishop back. This prevents knight a5 because you can play bishop c3. Also a very well-known idea in the Ruy Lopez. So those systems go hand in hand, I think. h3 prevents bishop g4, of course. Both players don't really want to get tangled up for the next few hours of chess, having to deal with his bishop on g4 or g5. Yeah, this is a classic trade, of course, in the Italian. You're giving black the strong center, but the pawn structure is a little awkward. That's why we play the move h6, so that it's not targeted by knight g5. Knight c4, bringing the knight to the center. Very good move. Forces the bishop to play bishop a7. Basically, he doesn't want to give up his bishop for knights, and kind of, let's just say black makes a move. He doesn't really want to trade a bishop for knight here. He doesn't like, he should not like this structure. So he just moved back. So we have another classic trade, and instead white opts for the rook capture instead of the pawn grab. The difference is this f file is open, and then white will have to use a tempo to come back to the f file, which puts white behind. So to justify this, white captures with the rook. A4, D4. Finally, we play our main idea, or Firouzja plays his main idea, which is to play D4 and to establish a strong center. Basically, black is going to have to try to prove that this pawn island in the center is weak. And he does so by, strikes in the center, and forces white to have this isolated D pawn, which is good and bad. And basically black is trying to say that white will have to babysit this for the rest of the game, while black uses dynamic piece play to undermine white's position. And this is what really just separates men from boys here. I'm actually going over this theme in Silman's Reassess Your Chess. The first chapter is on knights, and your knights want to maneuver to places where they can strike at the position. So the white knight is best here. So how do you get it there? Knight b1. Beautiful idea. It's probably one of the best moves in this game. It's very, very pretty that you can actually just deactivate two of your pieces for this nice idea and still be okay, because there is no attack on white's king yet, so white can afford to play slowly. c3, challenging this pawn. Knight, black captures. White captures with the rook, just to have some pressure here. Probably going to double and try to maybe get into the center here. I don't know. Get into the center, maybe get this fork. Very unclear, but still a very even position. And takes the file. And they do this kind of gaining time on the clock here. I don't really understand this rook move here. I think I understand sort of why. White wants to free their queen from defending this because queens are bad defenders, so he'd rather let a lesser value piece do that and maybe double up on this file. Meanwhile, black has got some pressure here. Very unclear who's actually better. I don't think anyone's actually better here, but maybe black has this idea to try to get here. I don't know. So basically both sides just have to play chess. And it's move 27, so they have 13 moves to make with 20 minutes left on each clock, basically. G3, I wasn't sure. Yeah, G3 was kind of a weak move, even by my standards, just because you're pushing pawns in front of your king when you've already done so, and so this king is kind of airy. Still, it's probably not the end of the world, but I think maybe white would want to do some other things, maybe like activate his queen, like this or something. But then this allows this, and yeah, maybe let's try this. I just want to see. Oh, never mind. Oh, there's a mate threat. Never mind. Bad. Yeah. Okay, the white queen must guard e1. Oh, jeez, I'm bad. I'm so bad at chess, guys. Here, king here, and then black infiltrates, trying to gain some initiative with the open file and active queen. But white is defending solidly. One, queen back, and something very interesting happens around move 40 as and here they're running out of time. Firouzja has a minute left on his clock, minute 30. He plays this move with 7 seconds on his clock. Very, very exciting. G4, black is trying to push white against the wall. Notice the evaluation has kind of swung a little bit into black's favor. Knight h4, which means white's kind of losing grip on the position as the time dwindles down. And here is very interesting because Firouzja with 44 seconds to make one move plays probably not the greatest move. Imagine playing 4 hours of chess. 4 hours of chess with one of the greatest players who ever played the game to throw the game immediately on King h2. Now, why is this such a mistake? It's kind of unclear. So, for example, I need to actually use the computer for this one. So the difference is for King h2 picks up the pawn, Queen g5, Rook g7, blocks. This is what happened in the game. Black is able to block with the queen. And this is kind of what happens in the game. This is the exact moves that happen in the game. This is the difference here. And if instead white had played King g1, and then tried to do the same thing, say Rook d1, Knight f3, capture here, suddenly you don't have Rook g7 anymore to block the check because white has this. In the previous version, the knight was guarding this square, so there was no perpetual, but in this case there is a perpetual. So that's the key difference. The knight is no longer on c6 to guard this square. And so Firouzja enters his dubious endgame. or position rather, and doubles his own pawns. They're playing with just a couple minutes left on their clocks. Our Firouzja he got into terrible time trouble, and basically Wesley So just kind of simplified into a winning endgame, and you don't have to play the most accurate moves when you're winning as long as you get the job done. So that's kind of the idea here. And with these pawns, it is much too strong, and these two pawns will beat a rook when they're on the 6th rank. So does exactly that. He pushes his pawns to the 6th rank and 7th rank, or yeah, to the 7th rank, and basically promotion is going to be unstoppable. And that's kind of the game. That was a pretty fun game. It was decided by very even game, decided by one mistake, and that's all it takes at the Grandmaster level to win or lose a game. So I hope you enjoyed it. My horrible commentary, very low quality commentary. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.